there's one more idea here. It's called Solipsism that I believe that the Course in Miracles really has. And if you don't know what solipsism is, it's the idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist, and the knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is unsure. The external world and other minds cannot be known and might not exist outside the mind. So it's the idea that you are the only one that exists, only your mind, and everybody else doesn't exist. It's only your perception and what you see and your experience. That's the only thing that exists. And I mean, if you couldn't say that, I mean, how egoic is that to actually believe something like that? I mean, that's really going to wreak havoc on somebody's mind if they were to believe something such as this. But really, that is what the A Course in Miracles is teaching, through saying that the world doesn't exist, other people don't really exist because matter doesn't exist in this ego. So therefore, the person that is accepting the ideas of A Course in Miracle would kind of have to conclude that, well, maybe I'm the only one that exists. And if you think about it, according to solipsism, there couldn't be any such thing as knowledge then, according to the world, at least in the world, because nothing exists. If sin doesn't exist and evil and fear, they all come from the ego and they don't really exist, and therefore they're not real, then you really couldn't even know anything by reading A Course in Miracles, right? Because A Course in Miracles is matter, it's, physical, it's, here. I guess they are ideas, but in that sense, you could say that you couldn't even really know anything because it's not even real. So how could you even know anything by reading A Course in Miracles? I think that's a good question to raise. But Christianity would teach that, we are all real moral individuals, and we're in a real world awakening to our true nature, confronting these ideas, and, we have these real free decisions that we can make about how to return to our true nature. So that would be what Christianity would teach. And that, God is in this world, that God is a part of this world, and God knows what's going on, and that God can help us out of sin. God can help us out of this destruction. So I would definitely say that, A Course in Miracles is really kind of like pie-in-the-sky metaphysical teachings, and it really does kind of inflate your ego. It inflates your ego, and it makes you think that you know things that you really don't know. And, because it's teaching that, everything is such an illusion and that nothing really matters, that you can just accept everything, and really no matter how much evil is around. So I think we really have to be careful with that, because you can fall into this place where it's just like, well, evil isn't real, sin isn't real, nothing is really real, so I can just do whatever I want to do. And I think that's a really dangerous place to be, and it's not something you want to be trapped in there. So God is with us, God does love us, and God is patient, His grace is sufficient. If we want to come to God, we have to come to God in acceptable worship. If we come to God in unacceptable worship, we're not going to receive a blessing from God. And that's ultimately what we want to do. It's not about condemning other people or putting other people's religions down, but we just want to come to the truth. We want to make sure that we're in the right truth that is telling us how this world really is and where this world really came from, and how we can get out of that, and how we can return back to God and receive the blessings of God. And that is, my friend, through having faith in Jesus Christ, and you just believe on Him. Whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. And God is patient. God is going to work with us, and we just need to have this faith that, Jesus did come, He did die for us, and that God now is not counting our sins against us any longer. And it's just as simple as that, my friend. So God bless you. Thank you for listening and watching this. And, leave any comments or questions you may have about this. I'd love to hear them. And you have a great day. Thanks a lot.